Is it really possible to feel 30 years younger in just 3 minutes a day? If you're watching this, chances are you've had days where your body just doesn't move the way it used to. Your knees ache, your balance feels off, and simple tasks, like climbing stairs or carrying groceries, feel heavier than they did a few years ago. You're not alone. But what if I told you that even at 84, you could start to feel like you're 50 again, just by making a few small changes that take only minutes each day? In this video, I'll share 5 simple but powerful daily practices that can help you feel stronger, more energized, and more confident in your body. These aren't gimmicks. They're not complicated routines. Each one takes about 3 minutes or less, and they've already helped countless people, just like you, feel better in ways they didn't think were possible. Let me be clear. This isn't a magical fix. But if you stick with these 5 steps, you may start to notice improvements you hadn't expected. Maybe it's waking up with less stiffness. Maybe it's walking further without feeling winded. Or maybe it's just the feeling of being in control of your body again, something many people begin to lose touch with as they age. The truth is, feeling young isn't about chasing youth. It's about preserving your function, your energy, and your joy for all the years ahead. And the best part? You don't need a gym membership. You don't need expensive supplements. You don't need a personal trainer. All you need is consistency, commitment, and just 3 minutes a day. Stick with me through all 5 steps, because each one builds on the last. And by the time we get to the final one, you might just realize that getting older doesn't have to mean getting weaker. In fact, you might even feel better than you did 20 years ago. Let's dive in. Step 1, morning joint activation. One of the main reasons so many people feel stiff in the morning isn't weak muscles, it's sleepy joints. After lying still all night, the fluid around your joints thickens slightly, like syrup on a cold day. So when you jump out of bed without waking up your body first, it's no surprise your knees creak or your back tightens. The solution? A quick 3-minute morning ritual, focused on activating your joints. No equipment needed. Just sit at the edge of your bed and slowly rotate your ankles 10 times in each direction, followed by your knees. Then gently twist your torso side to side, finish with some shoulder rolls and gentle neck turns. What you're doing is waking up the synovial fluid in your joints, that natural lubrication that helps everything move more smoothly. It might sound too simple to matter, but this small routine is the difference between shuffling out of bed and stepping into your day with strength. And there's another hidden benefit. These movements also send signals to your brain that it's time to turn on. For older adults, that's crucial. Your balance, coordination, and mood are all affected by how your nervous system starts the day. This gentle joint activation also improves mental clarity and helps shake off that morning fog. I once knew a man named Edward, 81 years old, who needed help just to get out of bed. But after doing this morning movement every day for 2 weeks, he wasn't just getting up on his own. He was making breakfast for his wife again. That's the power of 3 mindful minutes. The goal isn't to touch your toes. It's to feel steady, reduce your risk of falling, and keep your independence. Every fall you prevent is a year of freedom you preserve. So if you've been skipping morning movement because it sounds tiring or you feel too old, remember this: your body doesn't break from use, it breaks from neglect. A few minutes of gentle motion is like oiling an engine. It keeps everything running smoothly. Step 2, deep breathing reset. Most people don't realize that energy isn't just about food or sleep, it's also about oxygen. And how you breathe in those first few minutes after waking up can either recharge your body or drain it before the day even begins. When we breathe shallowly, something many of us do without realizing, we send signals to the body that we're under stress, even when we're not. That's why starting your day with deep, intentional breathing can completely shift how you feel. Just 3 minutes of slow, focused breathing, ideally with your eyes closed, feet flat on the floor, and your hands gently resting on your belly, can lower cortisol levels, steady your heart rate, and calm your nervous system. It centers you before the day begins. Take Linda, for example. She's 77, and for years she woke up every morning with her heart racing. Her doctor ran test after test, but everything came back normal. The real issue? Anxiety. Teat. When she began doing this simple breathing reset every morning, everything changed. Instead of feeling like she was chasing the day, she felt like she was leading it. That one shift made all the difference. And here's the key: don't force it. Don't try to breathe perfectly. Just sit still and allow your breath to slow down. Let your body do what it already knows how to do. The goal isn't perfection, it's presence. You don't need to hold your breath or follow some rigid breathing pattern. Just breathe in slowly through your nose and breathe out even more slowly through your mouth. Let each exhale feel like a gentle release. This kind of breathing activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the part of your body that tells you you're safe, calm, and in control. For older adults, this practice is especially important. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to stress hormones. Something as small as a phone call, a memory, or even silence can trigger a spike of adrenaline. But when you practice deep breathing, you create a moment of pause, a space between what happens and how you react. That's where the real power lives, in calmness, in control, and in not reacting to everything right away. Don't dismiss this just because it sounds too simple. Sometimes, the simplest habits are the most powerful ones we overlook. Just because something is easy doesn't mean it's not effective. If you stick with this breathing for just 3 minutes each morning, you'll start to notice a shift. Maybe not on day 1, but give it 5 days. You may begin to feel like your mornings are less of a race and more of a steady rhythm. And that rhythm, that becomes your strength. If you're still here and finding these insights helpful, drop a #2inches in the comments to let me know you're with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that button and turn on the bell so you won't miss the next video. Your support helps us continue making content that informs and uplifts. Now, let's move on. Step 3. Leg activation routine. There's something almost magical about waking up your legs the right way. Most people go straight from bed to the kitchen without even a stretch, but that's where the problem starts. Your legs are like the roots of a tree. If they're tight, weak, or unsteady, everything above them, your posture, your balance, your energy, feels off. I've seen this so many times. People blame their wobbly balance or low energy on age, arthritis, or bad shoes, but often it comes down to how they treat their legs in the very first minutes of the day. Let me tell you about Walter, a 64-year-old who used to say his legs felt like sandbags when he got out of bed. He thought it was just part of getting older. But then he started doing a simple 3-minute routine every morning. Nothing extreme, just seated marching, gentle toe lifts, and some slow standing calf raises while holding onto a chair. Within a few weeks, everything changed. His balance improved. His legs felt like they actually wanted to move again. That kind of transformation didn't come from a pill or a gadget. It came from habit. This routine isn't meant to be intense. In fact, if it hurts, you're doing it wrong. The goal is control and connection. Feel your feet touching the floor. Let your calf muscles flex. Engage your thighs just enough to send a message. I still need you today. That communication between your brain and your legs is crucial. It's like flipping a switch. And the earlier you flip that switch, the better the rest of your day will feel. Why does this work so well? Because blood flow equals energy. How? As soon as your legs get moving, fresh blood flows through your lower body, supporting strength, joint function, nerve signals, and circulation. For seniors dealing with swelling, numbness, or foot pain, this one habit can be a game changer. It sets the tone for the entire day. It reminds your body, we're up, we're steady, and we're ready. People often ask me, what's the best leg exercise for seniors? And I always say the one you'll actually do. You don't need gym machines, loud music, or a trainer shouting at you. You just need consistency and 3 minutes. A few mindful movements each morning can strengthen your muscles, improve your balance, and most importantly, prevent the kind of slow decline that sneaks in when we stop paying attention. Because strong legs aren't about appearance, they're about freedom. The freedom to walk where you want, to carry your groceries, to get up from a chair with ease, to live with dignity and independence. If you haven't given your legs a wake-up call lately, maybe tomorrow morning is the perfect time. You don't need a perfect plan. Just start. Just 3 minutes a day can make a surprising difference, and that includes what you eat. Step 4. An anti-inflammatory breakfast choice. One of the biggest hidden enemies of aging legs is inflammation. It's not always obvious. It doesn't always start with pain. It can work silently, gradually stiffening your joints, weakening your muscles, and draining energy from your steps. And here's the surprising part, that inflammation often starts, not in your knees or hips, but right on your breakfast plate. Your first meal of the day sets the rhythm for everything that follows. If it's packed with processed sugar, refined carbs, or inflammatory oils, you're basically telling your body, get ready for a sluggish, achy day. The good news? Even one smart change to your breakfast can make a big difference. Take wild blueberries, for example. These small, simple berries are nutritional powerhouses. They're loaded with compounds that reduce oxidative stress and help soothe inflammation, especially in your lower joints. I remember a woman named Elaine, 77 years old. She walked every morning but noticed that by evening, her knees would swell up. She thought it was just her age catching up. But when we looked at her meals, we noticed she started every day with sweetened yogurt and white toast. Reason: she made one small switch: oats topped with wild blueberries, a few walnuts, and a sprinkle of cinnamon. Within a few weeks, she said she could walk twice as far without that deep ache in her legs. It wasn't magic. It was simply treating her body with the nourishment it needed. The best part? You don't need to spend a fortune or track down rare ingredients. You can find frozen wild blueberries at almost any grocery store. They don't have to be organic or expensive. What matters most is consistency. When you fuel your body with foods that fight inflammation, it responds with strength. You'll notice it in the way you move, the way you stand, and how quickly you bounce back after a long day on your feet. And it's not just blueberries. Turmeric, chia seeds, walnuts, and dark leafy greens are all powerful anti-inflammatory foods you can easily add to your breakfast. Some folks throw them into a smoothie. Others prefer a warm bowl. The method doesn't matter as much as the habit. Because over time, those small, intentional choices create a foundation for strong, flexible, dependable legs. If this insight resonated with you, go ahead and comment #4 inches below to let me know you're still with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time. Your support helps us keep creating helpful and inspiring content. Step 5. Omega-3s and cold water fish. Nature has a way of giving us exactly what we need, if we know where to look. And when it comes to keeping your legs strong and steady, one of the most powerful tools is found in the ocean. Cold water fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel aren't just good for your heart, they're powerful medicine for your muscles, joints, and circulation. Many older adults start to feel weakness or heaviness in their legs, not because they're losing muscle, but because their blood vessels are inflamed. When circulation slows, your legs feel it first. They're farthest from the heart. That's where omega-3 fatty acids come in. These nutrients help relax the blood vessels and reduce inflammation, allowing more oxygen-rich blood to flow freely down to your lower limbs. Let me share Walter's story. He was 82 and described his legs as feeling like sandbags whenever he climbed stairs. He wasn't overweight and didn't have arthritis, but his doctor told him his circulation was slowing down. Walter started eating salmon twice a week, lightly grilled and served with vegetables. He didn't expect much, but 2 months later, he called me and said something that stuck with me. My legs don't argue with me anymore. They cooperate. It wasn't just the fish. It was the steady dose of omega-3s, calming his inflammation and improving recovery. Now, if you don't eat fish, don't worry. Omega-3 supplements made from algae oil are a solid alternative. Even canned sardines, affordable and easy to store, can work wonders if you eat them regularly. And remember, what you cut out matters too. Walter also reduced his intake of red meat and processed deli meats, foods that thicken the blood and slow circulation. So it's not just about adding the right things, it's also about reducing the harmful ones. Final thoughts. So what stood out to you most today? Maybe it was the power of omega-3s to improve circulation. Maybe the effect of wild blueberries and chia seeds on joint strength surprised you. Or maybe it was simply realizing that just a few minutes each morning can set the tone for how your body feels all day long. The key takeaway is this: small, consistent steps lead to big changes. Even in your 70s and 80s, you don't need to overhaul your life. You don't need expensive supplements or complicated routines. Just a few mindful choices, made daily, can bring you strength, stability, and the freedom to move with confidence. You've got this, and you're never too old to feel better than you did yesterday. A single day, fueled by the right foods, can make your legs feel stronger, more stable, and more alive. This isn't about trying to feel young again. It's about respecting your body and giving it the quiet support it needs to keep moving forward. Because the truth is, strength isn't defined by age. It's shaped by your habits. And when you feel confident in your steps, everything begins to shift. You're more likely to go for that walk, stand a little taller, and rise from a chair without hesitation. That sense of independence, of moving through your day without constantly worrying about balance or pain, is priceless. It's not just about physical strength. It's about emotional freedom. So here's a gentle challenge for you. Pick just one of the foods we talked about today. Add it to your daily routine. No pressure, no perfection, just consistency. And notice how your body responds over the next few weeks. Don't just take my word for it. Feel it for yourself. And when you do, come back and share your experience. We'd truly love to hear from you. Leave a comment below with one thing you learned today and how you plan to apply it in your own life. Your thoughts matter to us, and reading them brings us encouragement and inspiration. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who could benefit. Your support helps us keep creating meaningful content that informs, uplifts, and empowers. Thanks for spending time with us today, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.